right. Really appreciate each and every last one of you all for tuning in to the nation, one way or another. That's enough for the intro, right? Shout out to everybody, man. I really appreciate each and every last one of you all for tuning in to the nation. Life itself is always a mystery, right? As we begin to look at Dak Prescott collectively, what can he do, what he can't do, things like that. Hey, my thing is, can he win games? Can you put that check mark in the box? I would say yes. Can he make every throw? No. But I can guarantee you there's over 25 teams that probably would say, hey, they would throw a lot of money at Dak Prescott. They would. And looking at the Vegas, they even have right now Cowboys winning a plus 8.5 games, plus 8.5 games. So that's not bad. Vegas, I think they're right in the middle with the Cowboys. Normally they are, and they have the Browns right above them. That's crazy. But everybody want the flashing team. They want the hot sauce that's in the pan that sizzles everything, right? But the reality of it, the cold reality of it, is the name of the game is winning. If you can win games, that's the name of the game. The call-in number is 682-214-4087. Let me know what you guys think of Dak Prescott. Is he worth it? That's what some people are saying, John. He's saying, is he worth it? Or a 10-win quarterback every year is worth it, basically. I mean, that's basically what it all boils down to. And let's listen to what, well, I don't have the audio of it, but I do have the actual, I think it was on the Dallas Cowboys website. Oh, wrong button. Y'all don't want to hear that. But I do have the website where they're talking about the aspect of what Dak Prescott can do and can't do, and the intangibles, things like that, right? We're going to pull that up, and we're going to talk about this on so many levels, because that is the name of the game, right? The intangibles versus game. Can he win you games? Can he lose you games? Are we in the part of our lives whereas we want so much for this team that we lose focus on the things that we need to concentrate on? That's the main problem, you know. We look at it from the first year, he went 13-3, the second year, and trust me, the second year was abysmal. It was hard for us to even watch, but the first 4 games of the second year of his career, it wasn't that bad outside of the Denver Broncos game. it wasn't really that bad, right? And then it just teetered out after the Atlanta Falcons game. But one can argue that a ton of things happened. And what I'm thinking collectively, what happened was that a lot of people are upset because of the filthy. They was able to win the Super Bowl that year, and it kind of soaked deep down in some of the Cowboys fans' mental of saying that, man, they had everything going against them. They had injuries left and right. The quarterback went down, and they were still able to get to the playoffs, still able to ultimately win the Super Bowl, of crying out loud. And then on top of that, they beat Tom Brady and company. I think that that's where most of the situation is. IQ says rest in peace, AAF, February through March the 19th, 2019. Oh, wow. Hey, sometimes if you don't get those sponsor dollars in, and I think that there's enough billionaires in this world to look at the AAF and donate to it or sponsor it. But we already know there's higher power inside of these things. Shout out to Sand Demand 213. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for tuning in to the nation. Hey, guys, call in. Let me know what's on your mental. The phone numbers is up top. I want to know your thoughts. I want to know what's going on in your mind. Let me know, Cowboy Nation. Just let Law know. This year going into the season, we have one of these things where we playing the AFC. Is it AFC North? Who we playing? We play the Bills twice. We play the Jets. Well, we don't play the Bills twice. We play the Bills once, the Jets, the Miami Dolphins. So we get a chance to take a shot at the Tom Brady's of the world. So now we're gonna have Dak Prescott on display with Tom Brady. We're going to have Dak Prescott on display against the Buffalo Bills quarterback, the young phenom, Josh Allen, right? The guy that like to run the football with his legs, right? So we also have him against the other rookie, sophomore year quarterback in the Jets. I forgot his name. So we're going to be able now to look at everything. Going into the fourth year, this is where you kind of remove most of the blame, right? You can say, well, at this point, either he got it or he's not. What old folks say, either you're pregnant or you're not. You can't be a little bit pregnant, right? But I'm telling you right now, Cowboy Nation, the intangibles that Dak Prescott got, and then on top of that, we forgetting the main piece of everything is Ezekiel Elliott. So many people say, well, the Cowboys can't win. They can't do this. They can't do that without Ezekiel Elliott. Well, I can go back to the 90s and say, well, what did Troy Aikman do without Emmitt Smith? And then on top of that, if you add in this right here, sometimes the running back bails out the quarterback in so many factors. And then on top of that, the expectations of everything. If I were to tell people that Dak Prescott's first few years is just like better than Peyton Manning's, people would say, you're lying, Law. If I can say that Dak Prescott's first few years are better than your boy Troy Aikman, people would be saying, oh man, you're lying, Law. But the reality of it is that we've been so enamored about these great quarterback plays like the Pat Mahomes of the world, right? And the great plays that we saw from Aaron Rodgers and who else would throw the ball like no other? The Tom Brady, yeah. We look back at those things and we still fail to realize that the football is all about development and it's all about taking time. But wait a minute. Well, Watsons of the world and Pat Mahomes of the world, they was able to shine their second and going into their third year. Why can't Dak? Well, just give it time. There's different types of pressure when you put that silver and blue on. It's different, meaning that everything you do is going to be magnified to 3,000 to 4,000%. That's just the bottom line. If you go to the Cleveland Browns right now and you suck out there, there's no major media market is going to be like, these guys can't get over the hump. Baker Mayfield is in the world of pleasantry because he don't have the major markets looking at him saying, hey, he better win 10 plus games. He better pass as good as Graham Otto, whoever that guy was, So It's a higher standard when you play with that silver and blue on. And a lot of people think that they can just throw that silver and blue on. Even if we go out there and draft let's say we had the first overall pick for this year, 2019, and we go pick up a Kyle Murray or whatever his name is, or whoever the best quarterback in this class of 2019. Don't you know immediately they're going to compare him to 2016 Dak? And say, well, the earlier Dak Prescott won 13 games. This guy can't win us 10. Or vice versa. They're going to throw in the fact that they're going to compare him to Tony Romo. And they're also going to compare him to the Danny Whites, the Detroit Aikmans. Yes, indeed. 682-214-4087. Yes, that's the number. Yes, indeed. That's what I'm talking about. Let's call in and let me know what's on your mental. Yes, indeed. Let me just pull up the big board. Let's see what old Roger Staubach had to say. Pretty much so. This is an article from David Hellman. Shout out to David Hellman. They call him Tiny Jim, on the podcast show there. All right, so I got this highlighted right here. The conversations about Dak Prescott always seem to center on one topic: talent versus intangibles. Intangibles are the things that you just can't see, right? It's always unbelievable, right? Yes. Nina, what's up, man? What we have over here? Magic, was it? Meg of Rage. Say Google numbers not available. Okay. All right. Let me see if I can refresh the number. Really appreciate you guys, man. Just hang tight with me. I try to get the Google thing going, but let me see if I can refresh it. I apologize. Charge it to my head, not my heart. Let's go to this. Oh, Murphy Law, right? You gotta invite my brother from another mother in here, Murphy Law. He's always into the mix, man. He's always into this thing. There you go, right here. Mm-hmm. Almost there. And it should be on now. I'm gonna just leave it on one day. Just leave it on so you guys can. Come on. Yeah, it is kind of stuck right there. I have to reload the page and just give me a call back in a few seconds. Dak is improving, meticulous Cowboy. Yes, he's always improving. Dak is an average quarterback. This is from Sean Keane. Man, boy, average quarterback. But his numbers don't say that, though. If you look at it from a total perspective, if I was to pick you up and drop you off, if you was an alien coming from another planet and you just look at the numbers, and you'll say, well, hey, where's the average at? Because this shows me the average quarterback right here. All right, see if you guys can call in now, because I had to refresh the page. I really appreciate you all. Might want to check the check. Let's see. Since everybody calling him an average quarterback. And let's go right here. And you see what the Roger Staubach say. So if you call in Dak Prescott an average quarterback, and I like that point right there, then why in the world is his numbers is up there with Goff? Why is his numbers up there with Wentz? Why is his numbers up there with the Jameson Winston? Why is his numbers better than the other kid? What's that kid that played for the Tennessee Titans? Marcus Mariota. Why is his numbers up there? Is everything is rested upon Ezekiel Elliott? Don't those other teams got running backs? I know they're not on the level of Ezekiel Elliott, but still at the same time, why are his numbers are up there? Why were there 8 other quarterbacks drafted ahead of him, and it so happened that Dak Prescott is ahead of those guys as it relates to numbers? And I do know that numbers and stats and all that stuff can be misguided, but if you really look at the total picture, ain't the name of the game is winning? Dak threw for 387 yards without him. This is from Zach Nation. An average quarterback don't throw 380 yards. An average quarterback cannot find a way to throw 400 yards. An average quarterback just don't find those ways to pull up those type of numbers. And if we look at everything, average quarterback. I understand that a lot of people look at Dak Prescott. Here we go. We're winning now.
Call from
Cowboys abroad.
Talk to the nation. You're live.
What's up, Law? I just want to talk to you. I think Dak man take too much criticism. Really, every time I turn around, they keep everywhere you look in the stat book, Dak measures up, and so I really don't understand why he. I mean, can we talk about it, man?
Yeah, you're going in and out, but I can hear you though.
What's going on?
Keep going, man. Keep going. Talk it.
I mean, because when you take a look at it, when you take a look at the stats, you look at the books. Dak measures up in just about every category, 33 wins, 2 division championships. I really don't understand why QB be taking so much heat. I mean, really, can you give me a little bit of enlightenment as what's going on with Dak Prescott? I know sometimes he blue collar, make mistakes, don't always. I don't know when the QB does, but when you look at it as a whole, when you look at the books, Dak is online with everybody else.
Yes, he's online with everybody else. I really think that because of the mystique of the Dallas Cowboys, because of all of the legacy that we had before Dak, even if as it relates to Tony Romo, he wasn't given like a golden parachute as well. Tony Romo had to go through the grind to get to where he was at. But I really think that what with Cowboy Nation is that we are so impatient because we look at the fact that, man, it's been since the 90s since we won anything, that they pour all of the burdens on one quarterback and they say, well, he's the reason why we lost, or he's the reason why we didn't do this. He's the reason why we didn't do that. But if you look at everything, if you just look at everything from an outer appearance, you would say, man, boy, the Bills, the Jets, the Titans, man, if we can go on and on, the Jaguars, they would love to have Dak Prescott. They would love to have him. The Browns. But I understand that a lot of people saying, okay, well, Baker Mayfield, I don't know, Talk to me, man.
Baker Mayfield's one guy. He's an anomaly. It ain't too many QBs to come out like Baker Mayfield. But then again, we always have to look at that second year. Everybody has a good first year run before you give defenses the time to figure out what they're doing, what they manuals are, get some defense and tape. I'll be interested to see what kind of performance Baker Mayfield has after this year. I know I've seen a lot of QBs over the years have great performance coming out the gate.
Right.
You look at Dak. He's had pretty all 3 years he's been in the league. Few interceptions, gives you a lot of wins, always gives you an opportunity to win. He's clutching in the fourth quarter where it matters the most.
Mm-hmm.
What be going on?
Well, this is the thing. It would take a Super Bowl in order for people to really understand what they have. And that's why I always look at Nietzsche. I always bring up Nietzsche. Do not spoil what you have by desiring the things that you don't have, because at one point in time, the thing that you do have was something that you dreamed for, longed for. A lot of times people fail to realize that before we had Tony Romo, that little spell of Drew, we had a Drew Bledsoe of the world, right? The Tony Banks, the other quarterbacks that couldn't just win us a game. And then we had Tony Romo to come into the scene. Although we won some games, it was ugly, but it was deadly enough for us to get to the playoff and things like that. Coaching had a lot of issues. We had a lot of problems with salary cap and things of that nature, but we were still able to win. But what happened was Tony Romo was so broken down, and Cowboy Nation was so busy trying to defend Tony Romo and say, hey, the guy just need a chance. The guy just need a chance. And then 2014 happened. We saw the emergence of Tony Romo. But this is the other part of the coin. Everybody forgot about 2015. Everybody forgot about that.
Yeah, that 2015 and that 2015 was ugly.
It was.
It was 2015. It was ugly. I think, and if you look at another year, if you look at 2017, the year we had Zeke out, and all the other clouds was hanging over the Cowboys' head. Hey, with Dak, we still got 9 wins out of that deal. Out of all the things, despite all the things that was going on with us.
Yeah, there's no other player in the National Football League that's been scrutinized more than the Dallas Cowboys in 2017. There's no way you can do all those investigations after the investigations and all of the stuff that pulled up. Look, it's kind of equivalent to people fail to realize to jog their memory, what would Peyton Manning look like without Adrian James? You see, people fail to realize that Adrian James helped out Peyton Manning so much, man. And then the coaching staff and everything around him, it took Peyton Manning a while to pick up things, but it was the running back to help out Peyton Manning in his first few years. And then it was the tight ends and things like that. So people always discount the fact that the running backs help out the quarterback in certain situations, as well as Troy Aikman. Emmitt Smith helped him out tremendously, but people only look at one side of the coin.
Yeah, he did have a scrub receiver over there named Marvin Harrison. That's in the Hall of Fame now.
Oh, right.
He had some help. All these guys have some help. It's a team game. It's not designed to do it by yourself.
Right.
You line up 22 starters and and a couple special teamers, and you play the game. And then you have your role players coming up behind them. It's designed to be a collective effort.
Yeah, this football, yes, indeed, designed for all 22 guys.
Everybody loved them. And everybody loved the prior guy. Everybody loved the guy that just left, man. But I remember, man, back in the day, Romo used to take a lot of heat too. He had other issues. His problem wasn't throwing. People didn't like the interceptions he was throwing though. He had interception problems.
Yes, and a few broken mirrors and walking up under a ladder. I used to watch some games with Tony Romo, and the ball would bounce off a receiver helmet or the back of his shoelace, and the opposition was right there to pick it off. And we looking at it like, man, 5 INTs, that Chicago game, it was just a nightmare for Tony. But then again, Tony had the other games too, like the Buffalo Bills game. He threw like 4 or 5 interceptions, and we still was able to get back and win.
Yeah, Dak, 3,800 yards a year, in the top 10, a fewest interceptions, 33 wins. He's looking at a good size payday. I'm thinking he's probably gonna walk away with probably somewhere between 25 and 28 mil.
25 to 28 mil, yeah. I mean, that's what the numbers are saying. As far as the range, that's what I'm thinking. It is 25 to 28 million. But everybody's going to be looking at this contract that your boy is going to get, Russell Wilson. They're going to be really looking at that contract too. So it's a conundrum too.
But you gotta pay these guys. I don't understand. You got a whole roster to fill. You only got 188 million to do it, but at the same time, you got to pay your QB. We got 4 years of cheap labor out of them. Making under $1 million a year. When it's time to pony up, I don't know why we all that upset. He earned the pay raise.
Yes, indeed, man. Hey, it's one of those things where I look at it like this. What's your name again? I didn't catch your name.
Hey, this is Cowboys Abroad.
Cowboys Abroad, man. Yeah, Cowboys Abroad. This is another thing that I would like to say right here, too. The thing is, quarterbacks development goes beyond 10 years, right? It goes beyond 10 years. We see quarterbacks out there that's 12 and 15 years into the game, and we're like, man, boy, everything seems slow to them because they picked it up just like that, right? So it's just natural math, Cowboys Abroad. When you look at it collectively, that's why it's always best to pay the quarterback and to extend the quarterback because he can play 5 to 10 to 15 years and beyond. Just like when Edgerrin James was out there with Peyton Manning, and Edgerrin James was a bad boy. But there's no way that the Colts were going to pay him his second and third and fourth and fifth contract, you see. But the quarterback continued to develop. We're looking at Aaron Rodgers. Now, there's some things that we naturally can see, and I'm not putting Dak Prescott on those particular pedestals. I'll be wrong to say that. But what I'm saying is that there are some things that you can say with these intangibles, with leadership, and learning how to win games on different levels. Dak Prescott will not lose those traits.
Yep. Well, I ain't gonna take up all the time. I appreciate you enlightening me there, Law Nation, man. It's great talking with you, man. I've enjoyed this conversation, man. Appreciate you having me on your show and allowing me to call in, man, and just vent a little bit, talk a little bit, man, because sometimes, man, it just don't seem right, man. The things, man, Dak Prescott be going through, but you always got another side of you. You always got the other side of the story. I like that.
Yes, indeed. Man, I really appreciate it,
man. Keep doing what you do, man. Thanks for all you do, man. Man, love yourself.
Man, appreciate you, man. Love you too, man. Cowboys Nations, man. All day, every day, man. Conversation for the nation from Cowboys Abroad, man. Really appreciate you, man. Salute, brother.
Salute.
Yes, indeed, man. That's what I like to hear right there, man. People calling in from all over the world and talking what they have on mind with Dak Prescott. Hey, the numbers is up above the screen. I would like for you guys to call in to put your thoughts out there to the nation, to let people know how you feel about Dak Prescott, the intangibles versus talent. Is it enough to keep him? Is it enough to pay him $25 million, $28 million? How much of that money should be guaranteed and beyond? Can he win us 10-plus games this year coming around the corner? Will we be able to just shake that little old monkey off our back, shake the bear off our back, shoot the deer and the snake that's on our back that's trying to weigh us down? Are we able to do that? Copperface King says Pat Mahomes is projected to get $200 million in 2020. Oh my goodness, that's a lot of money. But the salary cap increased every 10 to 15 million every year almost at this rate. It seems pretty cool. Yeah. I think this is from Nene. She says, I think Antonio Brown is open and can of worms in the NFL. They weren't ready for that. Where players negotiate the teams that they want to go to and negotiate their own salary. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that happening. This is Montana 808. Prescott would be better than last year. I agree. Every year you got to pick up something that you can learn from, pick up things that you can say to yourself, hey, how can I improve on certain levels, right? And let me pull up this thing right here, and we're going to look at some of the stats here. All right, so his first year he completed 311 passes, right? Second year he completed 308. Third year 356. Those are passes that he completed. Percentage-wise, completion rate is 67.8, 62.9 or 67.7. The yards are all in this area right here. And I know a lot of people, let me see what's the most years. So in 2018, he threw his most yards, close to 4,000. Close to it. A lot of people look at touchdowns and they say, well, it's only at this part. Pat Mahomes had that his 6th or 7th game almost. He was just launching the ball all over the field. People fail to realize Different system call for different things. This is a run-first offense. This is not a sling it down the field, throwing offense. And on top of that, I'm not putting Dak Prescott in the same breath of your boy Pat Magic Mahomes, however you want to call him. What I'm saying is, this is a winning formula. It is. It's the winning formula of passing the ball and these factors. You can win games. Is it in the fashion that you want to win it in? No. I think if you really look at this offense and you will say to yourself, if you want those high points, if you want those quarterbacks to throw the ball all over the field, then you will have to change out your coordinator. You have to change out your head coach, and you have to change out the quarterback, and you have to change out so many things. And then you have to revamp your particular drafting philosophies in your play philosophy, because that was just the reality of it. Now, if you look at the INTs, right? 2013, he passed the most INTs, 13, and then last year he passed 8. First year of 4. We already know that, hey, there's no way that he's going to go every year passing only 4 interceptions. We knew that coming out of the jump. We just knew what is going to happen. But that's a story of a different day, right? But this is what I like right here. Look at his rate. Look at his percentage right here. 2017, he was way at the bottom. Climbed back up. I know 104.9er is a good number this rookie year. But hey, it takes time for these quarterbacks to understand that we took more chances down the field. When you throw the ball more times down the field, then guess what? That rating is going to drop. And if we look over here, yards per game, 242. That's a whole lot more than 2016 and 17. All right, so let me see who else we have in here in the chat box, man. I really appreciate you guys for commenting in the chat. After 4, it's what? IQ. After year 4, is that what you guys talking about? After year 4, what we have to say then? Don't think some people knew that law. Yeah. Jerry Jones side of the ball. Jay Reese, appreciate you, man. Call in, Jay Reese. The number's at the top of the screen. Hey, that's my guy right there, man. All right, Miss Jackie, appreciate you for tuning in to the nation. This is the same team, the same formula that the Cowboys have won with in the past. Same thing with Troy and his record, and ran the ball more than throwing the ball in his first and then now. Yes, and Miss Jackie pulled up a great point. In 2014, they said, look, we're going to get back to doing the things that we know for sure that can win us games. There was some offensive coordinator situation that flipped some things around as far as the offensive linemen and things like that. But that year, they said, you know what? We're going to run the ball more than we throw the ball around. And it helped them out. Yes, it did. So this is what I want to do right now, Cowboy Nation. We're going to type in some player's name so that everybody can see the comparables and things of that nature. I want you guys to give me, 2 other players that we can put in the box that we can compare Dak Prescott's stats to see where he stands. It can be a quarterback from the 50s. It can be the quarterback from the 70s, the 80s, the 90s. It can be a quarterback from, let's say, Carson Wentz era, the current era. It can be a quarterback name me any quarterback that you guys want me to put into the box so that everybody can see with their natural eyes of what Dak Prescott is and where is the average quarterback at and these sorts of things. Just put that in the box. Let me know. Russell Wilson. Okay, there's one. Let me go put in Russell Wilson. What is the first 3 years you guys want to do? Yeah. Matter of fact, let me just do the 1, 2, 3, first 3 years. Who else? What is another quarterback? And this is the thing. They got to have 3 years, I guess, because 2 years is not enough information for the nation. So somebody said Aikman. I'll put in Aikman. And I'm going to let you know that Dak Prescott. I'm going to cheat. I'm going to put first 4 years for Aikman because his number's going to blow him out the waters. And Winston. And I'm going to put in Cam Newton. Yes, indeed. Meticulous Cowboy says Cam Newton. We're going to put that number in. And there's another Cam Newton. I wonder what that Cam Newton was all about from 2005 to 2006. Y'all do your research on that guy, right? All right, so we're going to do 1 through 3. And we're going to do 1, 2, and 3. All right. Let's pull up the facts. The only person that I cheated with was Troy Aikman. I should have did Rivers. It's all good. Deshaun Watson. This will be Deshaun Watson third year, right? All right, so we're going to look at the quarterback totals, the completions, the completion percentage, touchdowns, and don't forget, there's also rushing touchdowns that's in the mix too. And did I do 3 years for Cam? I think I did. All right, so the first category would be completed passes. Oh, no. Dak Prescott is on top of things. Do y'all see that on your screen? Let me know. so that everybody can see with their eyes. Let me know if you can see that on your screen. Yeah. So we not fooling everybody. All right. So he got the most completed passes, 975. And who had the most attempts? Jameson. And he's not bad with the attempts. Let's look at the completion. Oh, completion percentage. Your boy, Dak Prescott. Oh, he's on top. Oh, but he's average, though. He's on top of everything. 66.1. Do you guys see that with your eyes on the screen? Yes. Yards. Oh. In third place. Shout out to Jameson. Shout out to Cam. They beating him real bad, right? I think Cam, he started off with, a 4,000-yard season 1 year, right? Oh, let's look at the mighty touchdowns. Okay. Look at there. Russell been throwing that thing around 72, 69. All right, anybody got your calculators out? Because we can't discount the rushing touchdowns. Let's go over here to the rushing touchdowns. Cam is on top of everything. Oh, man. Joey says put in Quincy Carter. Boy, light years ahead of Quincy. Dak Prescott is not average. This is from Hannon. Yes, I agree. But he's average. Money make him all. Yeah, he laughing. All right, so look. Second out of these guys in the list. Yes, indeed. We're going to look at rates. That Russell, he's bad, boy. Hey, Russell is so underrated as it relates to quarterback QB percentages. And as far as the deep throwing of the balls as well, so underrated. But Dak Prescott is in second place. He's beating one. Hey, was Jameson first round draft pick? No, he wasn't first round draft pick, was he? Jameson Winston was a fourth round, right? Cam, was he a first round draft pick? No, he wasn't. He was like a fourth round draft pick, right? Old Troy Aikman. Was he a first round draft pick? And remember, we cheated with Troy. We put 4 years up there, right? Boy. And that's average. An average quarterback is outperforming these first round draft picks for some reason. All right, we're going to skip a long ball because there's nothing to do with anything, especially that 90-yarder. I think that was something, a little screen pass to Ezekiel Elliott. He took it off against the, was that the 90-yarder? When Ezekiel Elliott took it against the Steelers? Let me know. INTs. Who threw the most INTs? Troy was just launching that thing, right? 60 of them. different era. I think the DBs were able to chip. They was able to hang and have a conversation with the wide receivers down the field. We can say that. We can go with that, all right? That's my boy. Troy Aikman's my boy. Especially since he talking about accuracy and things like that, right? When he had a nerve to say about accuracy, but he was at 76.4. All right, so we're going to go to sacks. Dak's probably be up here, right? Jameson not getting sacked that much. Games played. Everybody played about the same amount of games. 45, 48, 54. All right, we got a caller. Let's see what the caller is all about, man. Let me see what the caller is all about.
Call from
Morrow.
Thank you for tuning in to the nation. What's good?
How you doing, Law?
Man, I'm doing fine, man. What's good with you, man?
Not too much. Just watching your stream, and basically, I mean, Dak Prescott, he's not an average quarterback, that's for sure.
Right.
But I did want to say he something that some of the other quarterbacks in Romo didn't have is a running back. There's no excuses on that end of it. He's had a solid runner around him. When he first got into the league, or when he first took over the team, put it that way, he had a solid team around him. I mean, Romo said it himself. This is the best team I've been on, a group of athletes. So when Dak stepped in, it was really, everybody said it, he had to drive the bus.
Right.
And he did a great job about it. Now, once we got in 6-7 games, I'll be honest, man, I was a Romo guy through and through.
Right.
And I would stand up for him all the time. I know everybody says that now, but I was one of those guys that all the time, like, man, he's good. Just, we got to do this. The best thing you could have done for Romo was get him a defense.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have it. I believe, and I might be mistaken, but the best ranked defense he had when he was around was, I think, 15th. It might be maybe a little bit lower than that, but we're already better than that with this defense here. He's a good quarterback. He's going to keep developing. He's dealt with off-the-field stuff like his mom and all that stuff where it made him into the man he is, where these little things that would maybe crack at people's armor or whatever.
Right.
He's been through a lot of other stuff. So he, real life stuff. So he's a solid guy that these little things, these people talking about him, it's not going to affect him. We got a solid dude. Let's give him a contract and let's ride him out while we can,
Yes, indeed. So we're looking at the quarterback play when Tony Romo was out there, right?
Right.
Parcells was a guy that said, hey, don't anoint him yet. Don't put the anointing oil on him. And he got some things that he need to improve on. And that was probably Dak, but Tony Romo's going into his third year at that point?
Right.
Yeah, so he had a chance to learn and sit behind Bill Parcells. And
that's true.
And don't sneeze at who was it? Julius Jones. Was he a first round draft pick for us, running back?
I believe he was. Yeah, he was the one. It was either I wanted McFadden at the time. He was, I believe, McFadden's backup, and we picked him up instead. So
no, that was Felix Jones. That was Felix Jones. I'm talking about.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, that's right.
Julius Jones was. They had a 1-2 combination with him and Marion the Barbarian.
Marion the Barbarian was a beast.
And then Julius, they traded him. Somebody rejogged my memory on that, and because he was running the Borken ball. He had a brother too that played for the Chicago team, but he got injured. He snapped up his leg, I believe.
But as far as numbers, I mean, Marion Barber was a solid guy, and he would break these runs. But as far as statistics, he wasn't a top runner. It was really a pass game that would maybe give us some runs here and there. And I know he made amazing plays. We can look at highlights for Barber and Julius Jones. He had a handful of them. But to be honest, in my opinion, I don't have these huge highlight plays. Maybe the one where he was in the end zone, Marion Barber, where he was in the end zone 5 yards deep and still got out of the end zone, when it was going to be a safety. So there's maybe one or two big plays, but nothing that stands out for me to be like, oh, yes, these were the guys. You know what I mean?
Right.
There's no real, records being set or nothing. So that's kind of the mindset I have is like Marshawn Lynch, man. He was perfect for Russell Wilson. It took all the pressure off of him.
And then you had that nasty defense. I ain't saying good. You had a nasty defense.
Right. And that's my point. We had a solid quarterback with Romo. I mean, real good by 2015. He said it himself. He had everything. He knew the timing. He knew how to release the ball. He knew, but he was broken down because he had to carry the team. I mean, I don't think there's too many people that could argue he had to carry the team.
Right.
Dak, I don't feel he has to necessarily carry this team. Maybe in about 2-3 years where majority of the money's going his way and we don't have money to be feeding this defense, talking about the corners, talking about the linebackers, all of it's going to start hitting us around the same time. So our window, as far as if we're going to keep Dak and pay Dak, our window's 2 to 3 years, man, before he's going to demand more money where it's going to take away from solid positions that we have, that we're going to have to pay other places.
Are you a numbers guy? Like salary cap guy?
I do like the off season because I consider it chess versus checkers during the regular season.
Most certainly.
I wouldn't say, I look at them deeply, but I do look ahead and say, oh man, this is gonna, especially the corners next year, we're gonna have to decide something. We're gonna have to pick up somebody this year. We're gonna have to do something because we're not gonna be able to pay a Woozier, Woods, Jones. It's just not gonna happen.
Well, the reason why I was saying about the numbers, are you a numbers guy? Because is this going to be Russell's second contract? Help me out. Is this going to be Russell's second contract or this is his first contract?
For Russell, it should be a second.
Should be a second, okay. What did he get his first contract? Do you know off the top of your head? Anybody in the chat box know?
I do not know off the top of my head. No, I don't.
Let me see if I can find it right quick. Because that will speak volumes. If we can figure out a way to pay Dak what Russell got his first contract, maybe, just maybe, we can slide through a bigger window, you see. But if not,
they were able to keep that defense together for a little while. That's
for a little while, yeah. Let me see if I can find.
But then you see, they had to get rid of some people for that money. So,
and I'm almost
it's just
there.
This revolving door. Hey, I just want to say, you're on point with hey, let's enjoy what we got. Let's not be too critical on him. Because, like I'm saying, I was that Romo guy when Dak first came in. I was like, no, let's get Romo in there. Let's get Romo in there. Let's put him back in. Let's put him back in. Well, I didn't get to enjoy the 13-3 season. I didn't start enjoying it until week 10 when I was like, you know what? Let's ride it because we don't know if this is going to happen again. So it took me personally until about week 10 for me to be like, all right, let's put that whole, Romo thing aside. Let's roll with this dude. And let me enjoy what the Cowboys are doing because it's unique this year. And I'm glad that I got to enjoy it for a bit. But, man, if we could go back.
Wow.
Right?
Boy, it'll be amazing thing if we can go back.
Exactly.
I'm looking at Russell Wilson's first contract. It was a 4-year, $87 million basically, $31 million signing bonus, $61 million of that guaranteed.
And that's with the title, correct?
That was after the title. Yes, that's correct. And his average annual salary was $21 million. So if I'm a betting man, he's going to say, well, I want Aaron Rodgers money. He want Aaron Rodgers money because I guess he's not happy with $21 million,
Right.
Oh, my goodness, man. These players making some money. I know it's not on the level of baseball, but you only got 16 games in the NFL, right?
Right.
Oh, my gosh.
No, that's true.
And on top of that, he's about 5.5 years older than Dak Prescott. He's 30. So you can only imagine Dak Prescott 5 years from now. And it seems as if though they're in the same age bracket, but no, they're 5 years difference from each other. And I think that Dak Prescott, and this is not me homering this thing up, I think that Dak Prescott is going to improve a whole lot better within these next 5 years. How do you feel about that?
I honestly don't see him ever stop. I don't see him having trouble improving. I believe every year he's going to improve. And like I said earlier, because the real world stuff he had to deal with, this is fun, man. This is his release. Even with the drama, even with, whatever, you could tell that this is his passion at the moment, man. And it was his passion because it was his mom's passion. So it's just ingrained in him. You could talk about where he went to college, and that's a family to him. So his world is football. Why wouldn't you want that guy running your team? Why wouldn't you want him as the face of the team instead of these guys that you don't know what their passion is? Their passion could be a paycheck, you know.
You're right. I just clicked on his market value now for Russell. Oh man, can you guess what his market value is?
Oh my gosh,
$32 million, fam. $32 million, 5 year, $160 million. His QB ranking would be he's 11th ranked in QBs like throughout this. I guess his current contract is 11th ranked throughout all of the quarterbacks that's in the National Football League. But that's his market value, man. 32.
Wow.
Do you guys see that on your screen, man? Guys, look at that. $32 million. I'm scared to type in Dak Prescott. I'm scared to type in Dak Prescott market value. But they probably don't have that updated until this final year, though. So,
right.
That's a lot of money. Boy. But that's just how the nature of the beast is, you know. You got to pay the quarterback. And you see that they were still able to make it to the playoff without Earl Thomas, without the Cam Chancellors of the world, without beast mode, you know. So we'll see.
Right.
And I'm not saying that we get rid of Ezekiel Elliott. I'm not preaching that. But what I'm saying is this window is so freaking close to being closed or backed open. And the only way you can reopen this window, and I'm not going to say his name all the way, but I'm going to whisper his name, D-Law.
Oh, yeah.
It's a conundrum. Yeah. If you pay D-Law that money, then you'll have to get rid of somebody, guys. That's just the bottom line.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's the dilemma, man. That's the dilemma. That's the choice they got to make, right? We ain't signing those contracts. We ain't paying those bills. So,
right. We just rooting for the team. We paying for the tickets. We paying for the memorabilia. We paying for the emotions in it. We bought in emotionally, right? Jerry Jones bought the team financially, but we can only pay with our emotions and try to pick fights with the filthy and the Redskin fans and whoever else. You know, that's the only thing we can do.
Yep. Hey, and I do my part. Trust me.
Yes, indeed. Man. Do you have a YouTube channel?
I do not, sir.
You do not? Okay. I was going to say, man, tell people where they can find you at and all this good stuff.
But I don't post anything on it.
It's all good, man.
I'm that guy that you have trouble. I'm that guy that you have trouble saying my last name every once in a while. Mauro Ochoa.
Ochoa. You know, I'm a murderer of names, so Ochoa, man. I really appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in and calling in to the nation, man.
Thank you very much.
Yes, indeed. I'm going to try to save your name in here, and that way I can know for sure the next time you call.
Yep. Yeah, I'll keep calling in, man. I appreciate everything you do and the time you put into this stuff. It's awesome to sit back and be able to watch and listen and all that stuff. So you do a lot of great stuff. Appreciate it, man.
Thank you, man. Salute, brother.
Salute.
That's what I'm talking about, Cowboy Nation. Oh, man, that's what I'm talking about. Anyone else want to jump in and call in and put what you have on your mind out to the nation, please do so. But man, I'm gonna type in Dak Prescott's information up here, and I hope that they have market value out there for him, and see where his market value is going to be at. Man, that's a lot of money. See, they don't have market value for him. Well, they do. Oh, see, buddy, I'm scared to press this button. Let's see what they're going to say. Let's face the gauntlet. 23.8. 23.8. Not bad. All right, let's see if we can pick up this caller right here. Appreciate you calling in.
Call from
Cowboy Crunk.
Cowboy Crunk in the house. What's good, man?
What's up, Law Nation? How you doing, brother? First time to talk to you face to face. How you doing, man?
Man, I'm doing great, man. It's always a pleasure speaking to other Cowboys fans, man. What's on your mind?
Sir. Hey, man, I like the show you're going over right now. I know Dak, you know, this is a key thing. We got to get him locked down.
Mm-hmm.
We got to lock down D-Law, and I'd like to see that happen as well. On the Dak Prescott thing, you know, quarterbacks are lasting these years. The way the rules they got, I would love to do like a 10-year deal with Dak. go ahead, throw the money at him now. Give him like you're pulling up right now. He's 23.8. Give him $24 million a year, 10-year deal, $240 million. I know that's a long contract, but they did that with Donovan McNabb. It worked well for them when Philly had him. And in 4 or 5 years, he's the value is going to be a tremendous value.
And it helps out everyone. I think that what you going at too is I think that they already did something similar to a guy that wears number 77.
Yes, sir. Sure did.
Those long contracts worked into our favor because then you can always go back in and do the little, hey, we're going to front load some of the money. And who's going to turn down money when you front load it and we convert some of that money into to signing bonuses and roster bonuses, and we can still make everyone happy when the markets change. Look, exactly. Cowboys can be the first team to just do some groundbreaking stuff like that because I think that they were the first team to sign a big contract to Tyron Smith like that. Man, you own to something.
Yeah. Yeah, and we do the long deal. We lock it. And I love Dak Prescott. That there's some things that he needs to work on. A few things.
Right.
And I don't want to get nobody jumping on my back, but the pocket presence and the accuracy, those things will come. You cannot teach the leadership and the ability to win when they put that guy in the fourth quarter and they hand him the ball and they go into that 2-minute drill and there's no huddle. He's running the show. It's a completely different ball game. And I think we need to lock him in long term, let him work on those things, and I think he's the one. And I don't think he's going to reach out there and look for $34 million or something like that. I think he can see what that does to teams. We already see the Packers, that they couldn't afford to keep Randall Cobb. That was one of the reasons we got him. That's where I'm at on it. I see you going the right direction, but that's where I am. I say do the long-term deal, get the guy in there, and I think this Kellen Moore thing might work out better than it was with him being a quarterback coach. I didn't like that, but we'll see. But I wanted to call and say thank you, man. I'm in Afghanistan. I'll leave here in 18 days. I'll be home and back in the States on vacation. So enjoy the channel, brother. I like it a lot.
Man, appreciate it, man. Continue doing your thing, too. And tell people where they can find you at, because you got a YouTube channel, man. Let people know. Let the nation know where they can go.
Hey, man, you guys got me rolling. You and Mark Holmes, watching you guys. Mark Holmes is a good guy. I met him at the draft. I was watching his channel last year about this time, and I came home from Afghanistan. I drove an RV up to Dallas and met Mark Holmes there. I started my channel July 10th. I just looked yesterday. I started my channel on July 10th. I had 90 subscribers then because I had some car videos on there. I'm almost at 3,000 now. So I did 3,000 subs in 10 months. So I'm having a good time. I also did just put out I wasn't going to get my channel monetized. But I looked on the page and somebody's got to, they're putting commercials on my channel and doing all that. So I looked on my page. There's like $115 sitting there. If I don't claim it, somebody's gonna YouTube takes it back. So it's not a big deal, but I'm gonna go every month. Mark Holmes told me that that's a direct deposit, and I'm gonna donate that money every month to Dak Prescott's charity. So once I get my what is that thing called, the super chats. Once I get my super chats going and I get that money every month. Yeah, I'm going to send that into Dak Prescott's foundation, and I'll post that on, I'll do one video every month that shows my posting to Dak Prescott's foundation. So that's where my YouTube money is going to go to.
That's a blessing there, the donation for the nation. Hey, this is the thing, too.
Yes,
you probably have to go to your Google AdSense and then just unlock that, put your information in there so they can direct deposit that thing so you won't get no crazy check in the mail. You don't want to lose out on that.
Yeah.
And then once you do that, you can set it up. That money you can set it up if you want to go directly to his campaign or fundraiser and deal like
that's
that.
Cool.
You can do it that way.
I appreciate the heads up, man.
Yeah, and
That's
continue to do that. Don't you stay somewhere in Dallas? Are you close to this area?
I'm in Houston.
You in Houston?
Magnolia, Texas. The big Mag Nasty is what I call it.
Nasty.
I'm real close to Vach. I'll get together with Vach. Yeah. So, but hey, man, take care. I'm gonna let you hit your channel up. You got some people in the chat box. Shout out to Miss Jackie, Virginia's finest, and all the people on your channel. I see the same names on mine, and just good people, man. That's why I want to take that money that's going to my channel, and I just want to give it to Dak Prescott's foundation, because that's Cowboy money. And I got my little camera, and that's all I got, a camera and a microphone. I'm good to go.
Yes, indeed, man. Appreciate you, Cowboy Crunk.
Yeah,
and continue doing your thing, fam. Salute.
Yes, sir. Salute.
Right. Yes, indeed. That's what I'm talking about. Good, genuine callers, man, to call in and let people know about their passion. I was going to try to tell them we have the Cowboys experience, and we salute to veterans too. We would love to have him to come out to one of the games, let it be on our dime or something like that, and just let people know that this thing right here, Cowboys experience. You see the logo down at the bottom of the screen there. That's where you can find out trips and packages and things like that, and then also get a chance to meet some of the Cowboys players and take some pictures, and of course we have the original 88 out there, Drew Pearson. So that's what I want. I want everybody just like to be a one big family, man. Unity is everything, Cowboy Nation, and that's what I really desire for everybody to do, is to say that we may disagree with a lot of things, but at the end of the day, you cut me. Well, I might swing them hands though, but if you cut me, we all will still bleed silver and blue at the end of the day. Yes, indeed, man. Who else we got here? Money Making Mall, appreciate you. Yes, indeed. Cowboy Crunk is a good guy. Yeah, Virginia finest, man. Appreciate you, man. One of the mods, man. Holding it down. Hannon, yeah, appreciate you. Joey, thank you all for tuning in. Anybody else got any other thoughts or concerns about Dak Prescott? Talent versus intangibles. Remember, talent is something out there on the field that you can see, like, man, that boy got some arm talent. Or, man, he can throw that ball like this and that and squeeze the ball inside the two defenders and still keep hit the receiver. But intangibles are the things that you just can't see, right? Let me pick up this call right quick. Yes, indeed. And I need two monitors right here one day.
Call from
Kieran.
Karen, what's going on?
Hello?
You live on the nation. Who we got here?
My name is Kieran. I'm from Plano, but I live in Maryland.
Maryland.
So, one thing I wanted to say was I think it's important to look at like Dak's stats after the Cooper trade. After he actually got a weapon.
Mm-hmm.
And I made this spreadsheet that I put in the Discord where after Cooper he had a completion percentage of 70%. It jumped up all the way to 70%, and he was throwing 1.45 touchdowns per game. So when you were looking back at the when you were comparing him to James Winston and stuff, there's a significantly like higher rating for that.
The spurt is like the thing that jumped out onto everybody's stat sheet there. You talking about, right? Like when the trade happened, Dak Prescott had Amari Cooper. All of a sudden, his stats just jump out of the frame. That's what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I agree. We just didn't have a number one receiver. It was hard for Allen Hurns to make his name out there. It was hard for the defenders to say, okay, we're going to respect Allen Hurns out there on the outside and Cole Beasley. We're going to respect the Michael Gallup of the world, right? The Deontay Thompsons. And who else we had out there? T. Will, he was injured. Noah Brown. And they all sound like excuses, I know, especially when you remove a older GOAT like Jason Witten out there, and you had Blake Jarwin and the Swains of the world running routes and Schultz. Yeah, so when you put in a true number one receiver and you insert him into the roster, now all of a sudden the light switch on. Now, Dak Prescott, you look at him getting the ball out quicker. He have more trust and confidence that when he throw the ball to a certain side of the field that the receiver is going to come down with the ball. But, everything sounds like excuses when we say that. But I don't think that anybody was on the caliber of a Mike. Was it Evans kid that played for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. Who played for the Buccaneers?
I think
Jameis Winston.
Jameis Winston. He had Evans. I think that's his name. I think he also had the other kid, Deshaun Jackson.
Deshaun Jackson. Yeah.
I forgot his
They have
name.
a lot of weapons.
Yeah, he has some weapons, man. but we're not trying to go tick for tack for that. But yeah, I feel exactly what you're saying though. Collectively, every quarterback needs their go-to guy, especially when they're young. Yeah, Mike Evans. That's what they're saying. Yeah.
And also I feel like with the way the market works, paying DeMarcus Lawrence $22.5 million, even though it's Khalil Mack money, it's really not that big of a deal because if you look at it, the cap increases anyways, and he is the most important player in our defense. And in a few years, people like Joey Bosa are going to be topping that contract anyways. Yeah,
that's the other side of the coin. So what are you expecting for D-Law to get then, as far as guaranteed money?
Well, I don't know about the guaranteed money because the guaranteed money for the contract that he was offered, that wasn't revealed, right?
Right.
But I think the problem is that the Cowboys don't only have a history of front-loading the contract so we can cut him out like the way we did with DeMarcus Ware. So maybe that's what his camp is afraid of.
Yeah, so his camp is. But, if we look at it from this, I think there were reports out there. Trey Flowers got $56 million guaranteed. I think that the other guy, Von Miller, got $70 million guaranteed, right? And, of course, Khalil Mack, he's two different type of positionings. We already know that the Chicago, they just overpaid him, That was just too much money. 90 million guaranteed, 141 million, 23 million a year. That's a lot of money. I don't even know how the Chicago Bears are going to pay anybody else outside of they got their wide receiver. I think his name was Robinson or something like that. And they got the luxury of having the quarterback that they don't have to worry about paying him until like 2023 or something like that, or 2022, I believe. So we don't have that longitude and latitude. They don't have an Ezekiel Elliott that they got to reach down in their pocket and pay, or another Mari Cooper, or who else we would need to pay, or D-Law, or Byron Jones, a Jalen Smith is up. So we up against that hard salary cap deal.
That's true.
And then,
all right, well, I have to go, but it was nice talking to you, and this is my first time calling in.
Well, I appreciate you, man. Thank you for the information for the nation, man. Salute, brother.
Salute.
Yes, indeed, man. Good call, man. Yes, indeed. Who else we have in here, man, before we go into other details and topics here? Miss Scott and Pro, him is also Dan Bugler. So what are you guys talking about? Let me read over here. Really appreciate you all for tuning in. Let me know, man, if you guys love the flow of the calls. Let me know if you guys love their opinions. Post it down in the comment box below. Do you guys agree to go ahead and pay DeMarcus Lawrence the big bag and say, okay, the salary cap increase about 10% anyway? I'm going to check out his information that he put in the Discord to see whether or not, we can all have the right numberings. And remember, this is all speculations and opinions. Nothing is guaranteed or facts unless we directly work for the Cowboys organization, like the Chris Halls or the, I want to say the Will McClays of the world. Those are the guys that have the actual numbers. Let me pull up this. I need to have an auto accepting call type of deal. Let me see if I can pull this.
Call from
Money Making Mall.
Money Making Mall with the beats, man. What's good, fam?
What's going on with you, love, man?
Oh, man, it's your world, man. I'm just trying to pay this rent.
Yeah, man. I just want to say I appreciate your show and everything, man. It's definitely a good show, man. It's definitely
appreciate it.
Definitely is, man. But yeah, man, I want to talk about Dak a little bit, man, because I definitely was agreeing with a lot of things you were saying and a lot of things, some of the other callers were saying, like that is a fact though. He only played like 3 seasons, and like the way like the quarterbacks like playing career like length wise is going now, it's like it's only going up. Like he has tons of seasons left in him.
And
the way because you got quarterbacks playing to what, like 40 now? So
right.
like he's gonna grow up in front of us, for real. He's gonna grow up in front of us. And but I just feel like over that time, like you said, you can't buy that leadership and like the little nuances, like the footwork. I feel like his footwork though, like that's just something he got to work on a little bit, like his footwork and
we will be naive to say that okay, he can make every throw and he can beat the 8-9 man front. Look, if I'm the opposing defense, week 1, you know what I'm gonna put on Dak Prescott? Cover 1. I'm gonna put everybody in the box. Say beat it. I dare you. I double dare you to beat it. That's what I'm going to do. Week 1, I'm still going to put 8 to 9 men in the box. I'm going to keep 7 in there at all times. And I'm going to say, hey, Dak, beat me. Beat me. I want you to beat me. And I'm going to call him out every time. And every time he sit back with that wind up throw, I'm going to hit him in his chest. And I'm going to make sure that he feel my presence. I'm a defensive minded person. I'm going to talk noise to him. And I'm going to let him know that, hey, Ezekiel Elliott, we own him. We're going to make him our baby today. That's how I'm going to talk to him. And until he beat me on that deep post with throwing the ball with anticipation, and I'm saying that he can do it, but until he do it consistently, I'm going to sit there, and that's how I'm going to line up my defense.
Oh yeah. Teams definitely going to still, try to make him prove it that, kind of like the Giants tried to pull last year. Oh, well, we going to make him have the ball. Okay. They're going to still try to make him prove it, and it's just going to, like you said, it's going to get better and better. And that's another thing for next year, too. I feel like this O-line next year is going to be back. Like, it's going to be back and full effect. Like, I don't think people understand, like, just how good this O-line going to be next year. With having Witten back, having Frederick back, and the young rookie we had last year who had his struggles, I can't remember his name, but experience is only going to help him getting that weight. And like with all that combined, Travis back in the middle telling guys, I got this, got that. He picking up the mic and all that. I'm telling you, people don't understand. They just gonna have to see it. They gonna have to see it.
All I wanted was for what was that the young kid that we drafted, Connor. All I wanted him to get is like 5 to 6 pounds bigger, right? I said, look, we know he's gonna be 5 or 6 pounds bigger. The boy done trumped that. He's about 10 pounds stronger, right? 10 pounds bigger and stronger, right? So he's gonna get that down pat. He's gonna be bigger and stronger inside. Then on top of that, you add into Travis Fredericks. Oh, no, you got him inside. You got Travis inside now, And then on top of that, you got the Zach Martin, and we still got the development process of La'el Collins trying to play right tackle. But that's going to be better from the jump.
I wish La'el just stopped playing and just go in and just take that guard spot. That's what I really want him to do. Because you don't know how many times last year when I'm watching games and I'm screaming at the TV because he want to jump off the line or he just want to hold somebody.
He want to sack Dak Prescott.
Just squeeze him back in the middle. Yeah, just throw him back in the middle. We could develop somebody out there or something like – because he killing me. He killing me on Sundays.
And then I think we are better prepared for this situation, too, with Cam Fleming as the swing tackle coming in off the bench. And if we pick up Xavier Suafilo, who was able to step into the gap when somebody went down and did a very serviceable job. And then don't discount Joe Looney.
Yeah, he was decent.
He was decent.
Yeah, he definitely was decent.
He was a serviceable job. And then Joe Looney. Boy, he's a gem for us, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that this defensive front, this offensive line front is just, like you said, is going to be a whole lot better. Dak going to have that trust with him, and he should be at the point now that he said, okay, I invite the 8 to 9 man front. I want you guys to do that.
Mm-hmm. But I feel like as far as like with these players we got to play, especially in the upcoming years, I feel like it's definitely good problems to have. Versus all these other problems these other teams in the league are having, it's definitely a good problem because what you're going to have is players whose guys' contracts, coming up. So they know their contract's coming up, so they gonna only put forth the best effort to get the best pay. You know what I mean? So we ain't gonna do nothing but get we ain't gonna do nothing but get the best production out of them because they want to get the best pay they can get out of their production.
Yeah.
So I feel like even though it's a tight window we have, I feel like we only gonna get the best out of that tight window. It's not like it's a tight window and we don't know what we might get. No, we gonna get some guys that are motivated.
Yes, indeed. So if I put GM hat on you, money making mall for like say half of the season, you got the GM hat. Are you moving on from Anthony Brown, or are you saying okay, it's a contract year instead of drawing a chip on you? Instead of drawing a chip on your shoulder,
Brown,
what you gonna do about it now? I got some dip for you right now.
He grew on me last year.
Yeah.
He grew on me last year because I was losing my patience with him. I really was. But I feel like it was for him last year. I feel like it was Chris Rashad. I feel like he was the difference maker for him. I don't know what he did or like what he's doing, but he found a way to make Anthony Brown useful and not just useful, but he's getting the best out of him. He's definitely getting the best out of him.
In the process, we getting hurt with Jordan Lewis just sitting there.
Yeah, and then if anything happened to him, whoop, throw him in. Because I really honestly would rather Jordan Lewis. But you said would I get rid of him? You said what would I do?
Would you shop him? Would you say, okay, is it a prove-it deal for you this year? Or would you sit there and say, okay, all right, let me just go ahead and draft your replacement now, What would you do?
If we got Lewis, since we still got Lewis, I wouldn't mind shopping him depending on where we are, in the middle of the season, because I think, it was very dependent on where we were last year in the season, which made us make that move for Amari Cooper. Because if we wasn't where we was, I don't think we would have made that move for Amari Cooper. So depending on where we at, I think we will shop him. But if not, we good where we are. I feel like they just gonna keep him. And like I said, his contract coming up, so he gonna only try to put forth the best. We're gonna get the best out of him.
Contract years they normally do. And what's your draft thoughts, man? With the 58th pick, who you got?
The 58th pick.
Offense, defense.
I honestly want a D tackle. I would like a safety. Don't get me wrong. I would love a safety, but we gotta stop acting like we don't need a D tackle. We can't just try to pick up old Joe Schmo and throw him in the middle and be like, hey, here you go.
Here you go.
Just lean on somebody until D-Law or Randy or whoever gets there. Like, we got to get somebody for that middle, because once we take care of that, I'm telling you, it's going to be different. It's just going to be different. I'm telling you. We haven't had that one guy. We haven't had that guy in the middle in a minute. Like, when's the last time we had somebody, a D tackle, where we say, oh, man, wait till Sunday. He going. We ain't been able to say that in a long time.
Well, we had one guy, and he was a slender guy, Jay Ratcliffe. He only did like 2 years of good deal for us.
Yeah,
that was the last dog that we had that was into the inside. Somebody
I feel like
correct me
he
if
was
I'm
decent.
wrong.
I honestly feel like he was decent. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, he was good for one. I would say 1.5 years. He was good for us, Then when he got that bag, then all of a sudden his size became a problem, And then we can go all the way back to Russell, Maryland, but that was before a lot of people time. That's in the chat box, so I ain't gonna bring that up.
Oh yeah, that's what happened. They get that money and they pull a old, oh, this is hurting. Oh, this is hurting.
They don't keep that same energy, basically.
Yeah, but another thing, I don't want to take up all your time, but I think I feel like this team is kind of similar, especially with the Russell Wilson thing you had pulled up earlier. I feel like it's kind of similar to the Seahawks a little bit, especially with the bringing in Chris Rashad. It's kind of like the defense is the focal point of the team in a run game.
Yeah,
because you look at what they had, especially when they went on that run when they first drafted Russell. They had that super good defense, and that run game was serious. And now you look at us, we got a really good defense, and our run game is what carries us, to tell you the truth, is the run game.
But you know what? And I know that winning percentages, everybody going to look at it and say, well, Pete Carroll is not that much greater than Jason Garrett. But he had to have some cojones to cut or bench Matt Flynn. Remember, they paid a lot of money. That. And Russell just outperformed him. He just outperformed him.
Because I didn't even know who Russell was. I remember when they drafted him, I just didn't know much about him. And I remember when they did that, I was like, oh.
So man, that's the conundrum. Russell outperformed him, and they said, okay, we're gonna go with the young phenom. He's our 3rd round draft pick. We like what we saw on tape, and a lot of people was like, oh, who? and it worked out to their favor. And of course, the defense flying out to the ball. The defense was like no other, and playing up there in Washington is a whole nother atmosphere with the 12th man and stuff like that. So they had that momentum, and at the height of their time, I think the 49ers was coming along too. We can't discount that 49ers team.
They had a big rival. They had a big rival.
So hopefully this year we will see some type of hype train going, some type of, because one can argue this right here. Our offense is better than that particular Seattle Seahawks run offense. Do you agree?
Yeah.
If you look at it, we got old reliable.
Even just wide receiver weapons.
Yeah, the weaponries that we have out there, it just takes time, man, for us to just get this coaching together. And hopefully the coaching will – I'm not trying to throw Jason Garrett under the bus, but this may be his last year if we can't get to the NFC Championship.
We going to pray.
We going to pray, man. Yes, indeed, man. You don't have a YouTube channel, do you? You don't do any YouTube stuff, right?
Yeah. I got a YouTube channel.
You got a YouTube channel? Tell them where to follow you.
Check me out on YouTube. Yeah. Check me out on YouTube, Money Maker Mall. Put me in the search, I make some good music, rap, hip-hop, a little bit of R&B, I try to do it all. But, just a music vibe, too, You want to check it out, feel free. Let me know what you think about it. Yeah, that's all, man. I appreciate you letting me take the time,
Man, anytime,
feel my thoughts,
Yes, indeed, man. Anytime, fam. Continue to grind it out there, man, and do your thing, fam. And always call in.
All right, appreciate it, man. Thanks.
Salute, brother. And shout out to Jay Reese, man, for the donation. Jay Reese says, if this team fails, Garrett is gone. What about Dak? It goes back to the conversation. It depends. If Dak Prescott was one of those guys that dropped the ball, like if we start off like 0-7 or 0-8, and I just don't see the team going that route. If Dak Prescott look like all the way boo-boo the fool, then maybe. But I just don't see it. Maybe I'm got the Ray Charles vision to it, but I just don't see it, man. Dak Prescott falling off the map. I just see this team a plus 10 win team. I do. I know that a lot of people going to say, you got the Homer vision. But I just see this team plus 10 win team. If we look at the teams that we're going to play against the Bills. I'm not saying that you're going to put a guaranteed W up there, but you're going to get a chance to play against the Jets. You're going to get a chance to play against the Miami Dolphins. And then you get a chance to play against the Patriots. I think that Patriots game, they're going to try to put that game in the middle of the season. That would be a good test for us. And I think that our first game of the season is going to be against the Giants. They try to flip that thing around, but the NFL is so greedy. They're going to want that national media market, and you're going to see it. Let me see if my guy, I think this Roy calling in. Let me see what we got over here. Appreciate you guys for calling in, man. Give me a few seconds.
Call from
Roy.
Yeah. What's good, fam?
What's going on, Lord, man? What's going on? It's been a while.
It's been a minute, man. You called in before when I was trying to do this thing, 2 years ago or a year ago, something like that.
I was your first caller, man.
Yes, indeed. See, I remember Louisiana Roy.
Yeah.
Talk to me, man. What's on your mind, man? Tell me all the secrets that you got on Dak Prescott, man.
Man, Dak, a lot of people don't like Dak because he's a born winner. And sometimes he doesn't throw for 300 yards a game. Sometimes he doesn't, hit the right man when he's supposed to. But somehow, some way, he always have those game-winning drives where you be like, man, why he couldn't do that the first 3 quarters?
Right. Fourth quarter, Dak.
And it's just frustrating to people. And, but this is what, 4th year?
Going into his 4th year.
And sometimes it takes people longer than that to. He didn't even have to sit behind anybody. If everybody remember, he got thrown in.
Thrown into the gauntlet, yeah.
Thrown into the gauntlet and went 10 games straight. If I'm not mistaken, he won 10 games straight.
Yes, he won. He won about 10 or 11 of them. One of those things.
Yeah, it was like 10. I mean, and that was unbelievable for a rookie to do that. Now he didn't have too much growing pains in his first year. He had growing pains in the second year, but of course, everybody knew that. Our running back got suspended for 6 games, which was bull. But
yeah,
I think he went 3-3 in those games.
Yeah, he went 3-3. He passed like the high. Somebody got the stats out there. I guarantee you, he passed his high QB rating without Ezekiel Elliott out there. And then if you look at the last game of the season, I know it was a lot of vanilla against the Giants, what have you. But he also threw his best QBR rating at the last game of the season last year with the Giants against the Giants without Ezekiel Elliott on there. I'm not saying that Ezekiel Elliott is the issue. No, don't get that twisted. No. But I think that the guy is still developing,
Oh, yeah, but not only that, people forget that our defense was going through a transition at the time, too. We had all those rookies that was playing. You remember we lost almost all our secondary.
Yeah.
And it just wasn't just the offense that took a step back after his first year. It's also was the defense. And I think people forget about that side of the ball. They're like, well, he had not his second year. They had all those rookies starting their second year. And plus, we had people suspended.
Defense.
Last year, everybody came together. You had those rookies out there in the secondary. They manned up. Awuzie, you had Lewis, and then you had Wood. All of them had to man up their second year. Coming to this their 3rd year, so they should be well coached and everything. So we should be all right, but you never know because we have scheduling and this and that. But I think Dak should be all right. And if I'm not mistaken, didn't Kellen Moore call the last game of the season?
There's whispers out there saying that he did call that last game. There's whispers out there saying it, and
and if he called that, now if people remember, we don't really use the middle of the field, and if Kellen Moore can bring that to the fold by using the middle of the field, that'd be gold because that's something for some odd reason our offensive coordinator never used the middle of the field, and that's always wide open.
Yeah,
because of the running game.
Right.
You play action. You play action right over the top almost every time.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems like for some odd reason our offensive coordinator, he didn't really, that wasn't his philosophy. He was outside the numbers. And I think didn't Amari Cooper got there, he said this was the easiest offense he ever had. But that should say something about the offensive coordinator right there. If it's not difficult, that means that the game plan is going to be easier for the opposite side of the field too. That way they don't have it's beat your man. Well, that's not a philosophy. It shouldn't be beat your man. It should be scheme to get your people open. You know what I'm saying? It should be scheme to get your tight end open. It should be scheme. And I kind of seen that in the last game of the season. They schemed for all that, and the people were wide open. And that's how it's supposed to be. Some throws supposed to be easy.
Yeah.
And I think that's one thing we miss about Sean Payton. People forget about that, but I was going back and I looked at those old films, and I'm like, damn, T.O. is wide open.
Right.
This guy was wide open. And I'm like, and then you go to look, and it was the scheme that our offense ran. It wasn't because Tony was some kind of great in his first couple of years, because I think that was Tony Romo's first or second year when Sean Payton was there. It was the schemes that I'm like, man, if they could go back to that philosophy, the way they scheme people open and have trips on one side. When the last time you seen us have trips on one side?
Well, they do line up trips, but the two wide receiver, they're gonna run that button hook that come back look for the ball. It's a vertical offense, and that's just the issue with that. And the reason why you don't see that much in the middle of the field, because Lanahan's philosophy is to have your quarterback to read from the outside in. So you read from the outside to the furthest from your X. That's why in all of his systems, you will see that the X receiver, the Megatrons of the world, the Randy Gregory's of the not Randy Gregory, Randy Moss, who else? The Isaac Bruce, those guys. When he was playing, when he was coaching, you will always see the X guy to be the primary target. But I think that, I guess the new wrinkle with Kellen Moore, he might adopt some of that. He may have some adaptations of that, but I think that Kellen Moore is going to bring in some more of that, the 12 personnel, the motion in the backfield, free up some. You'll see some more plays that's open by design for the receivers.
And not only that, man, when the last time you seen a running back draw? I mean, not a running back, a running back draw or something. Like, you know, like easy stuff to make it, okay, I'm going to go back like I'm passing there. Oh, here you go. Remember the old Emmitt Smith plays? You used to just run. Troy used to go back, and then everybody would go downfield, and then bam, you know, he'd get like 5 or 6 yards. Oh, he might bust over for 20 yards. Man, it's just that we had the most vanilla offense, and they're like, "What's Dak problem?" Well, hold on now. Maybe it's the schemes that we ran to make Dak, you know, not to where he can reach his full potential. You know, and I'm not saying blame. You know, Dak had to take responsibility. So does Garrett, and so does Linehan. You know, all of them had to take responsibility. But man, you can't handcuff you're supposed to be your quarterback of the future if you're not giving him plays to make him successful to where he could open up the offense for Zeke. If people go keep putting 8 man in the box, okay. Well, what the other? You got wide receivers. You can have up to 5 wide receivers. You know what I'm saying? Like, what they supposed to do? Just stand there and let them just keep pounding our head against a brick wall. That's not how it's supposed to work.
No, you're right. I don't like the philosophy. Hey, mono a mono, my best versus your best. Sometimes you're gonna have to reach into your mind and say, okay, these are the things that we're gonna do in order to win this game, whether it be mentally, whether it be drawing up something. We have yet to see the flea flicker in a long time, right? So it's small things, man.
Just little things that could tweak the offense. Okay, the last few games of the season. Remember when we needed to make a run to get to the playoffs. Mm-hmm. Okay, then they want to start using Dak legs in order to use. Why you could do that at the beginning of the season to throw people off. You know, Dak a big guy. He was 6'2", about 235, 240. I mean, that's a big guy.
I'll give him 240.
Yeah, I mean, you know, sometimes you look a little bigger, sometimes you look a little smaller. But you know, and I know you don't want your quarterback to take a pounding, but sometimes you have to be like, okay, roll out to your right, roll out to your left. You know, all those things they did in his first season, they did pretty much everything that was tailor made for Tony Romo. And then all of a sudden, the second year, they dialed everything back. I'm like, well, why not keep it the same? Why not, you know? Here come the 9-man front, run the ball. Okay, that doesn't work. How about this? You see a 9-man front, check out that shit.
Yeah, check out.
You know, two tight ends ain't gonna work all the time.
Yes, indeed. You know, now, this is another thing that I commended Dak Prescott on, is because I don't think that he had the longitude and latitude to check out every play. Remember the play that Amari Cooper wanted him to change up the play. He was like, nah, that's what Coach called. I'm doing what Coach says.
Yeah, he couldn't do it.
And then right before the play, he said he audibled out of it. He said, okay, I'm going to give you. He gave him a head nod. And Cooper was like, yes. And remember this. After Cooper made that opening statement, I guess, with the media, he'd fell off. It seemed like Lanahan said, "Okay, you gonna shun and sully and denigrate my name like that?
Yeah,
we will see what's going to happen to you next week."
We're not throwing the ball to you. Button hooks for you all day long.
Button hooks. 5-6 yard route, turn around for the ball. Yeah.
I don't know if the younger generation know the button hook, but you know, us playing Madden at a Madden Tecmo Bowl, that was like the little thing, button hooks.
Button hook. Now, when you playing man to man, yes, indeed, man to man, I would do that button hook all day, every day. The receiver's got the right path for the ball. The defender,
button hook, he couldn't even stop.
No, you can't stop. It was
Amari Cooper's a great route runner, right?
I mean, no. He's
Amari Cooper's a
great route runner. Yes, indeed.
Yeah, I would say he's one of the greatest route runners we have in the game nowadays. Now, if Kellen Moore was smart, you would use that to your advantage because you would want to know what the defense.
Oh yeah, Roy, you still there? Roy, I think I lost you, but yeah, Amari Cooper is a hell of a route runner, and then on top of that, I would say this: Michael Gallup would develop into that X. I think he solidified that positioning. So you can now move Amari Cooper all over the board, you know. So he's like the, you know, how do you say in chess, the queen can move all over? So he's one of those pieces of the chess. And now you got a guy that you can put anywhere on that offensive side of the ball. And then you sprinkle in what Randall Cobb can do. Oh, my goodness. The thing is, I love what Cole Beasley was able to do, Cowboy Nation. But if you look at it from a bigger picture, man, I think this Roy calling back in. Let me see if I can get him on the line again. But, boy, let me see and reload this thing. All right. Roy trying to call back in. Let's see if I can get Roy back on this thing. Come on, computer, wake up. We almost there, Cowboy Nation. All right, so I was talking about the. Let me see if I can get Roy back on the line. This computer all snapped up. Let me know if you guys can hear me and give me a thumbs up in the chat box. I was talking about the Roy. Well, not Roy. I was talking about Randall Cobb versus the quote unquote Cole Beasley. The difference is both of the guys are short, intermediate route runners. They can run quick, fast. But the other part of the table is that you got a guy named Randall Cobb that you can put onto the outside. He can get you those yards on the outside, and you sprinkle in the fact that he can get that yak yards after catch. So that's a lot of things that you can get done, especially playing. So you guys can hear me. Yes, especially playing with this particular offense. You got Ezekiel Elliott who's going to eat inside. And then on top of that, if you sprinkle in the fact, man, the Cooper, the Michael Gallup second year. This is going to be medieval, Cowboy Nation. It's going to be medieval. I don't know what happened to my phone lines here. Let me know if you guys can still call in. I'm having little issues with this new technology, I guess. Let me just do this. I'm gonna do that, and then we're gonna do it like this. Hopefully that will pick up everything. And I want to do this too before I guess I can start wrapping the show up. Dan, I think Miss Scott Pro was talking about the Pro Bowl selections. We was talking about that earlier. And I want to be able to bring this up for everybody to know that the teams have not always been trash for the Cowboys. We collectively had a good squad. We collectively had good teams out there. So I'm going to pull up the Pro Bowl selections, whereas I just want people to just stop saying that the team were trash all the time. And we can look right here, and you guys can see on the screen right here. Because I think I saw Miss Scott and Pro debating with somebody. This is the Pro Bowl in 2009. We went 11-5. First place in the NFC East. Remember that year? Miles Austin, Leonard Davis, big Leonard Davis, right? Andrew Gerard, I think that's how you say his name, right? Those are offensive linemen. At the end of the day, those are offensive linemen. Mike Jenkins, y'all remember that? Terrence Williams, Jay Ratcliffe, Tony Romo, DeMarcus Ware, Jason Witten. So I want people to stop saying it. Well, Tony Romo never had a team, or we never had that team that was just like lights out or what have you. No, we had some guys out there, and we won a playoff game that year. Remember, we dog whooped the Eagles 34-14. And then on top of that, we went up there all the way to the Viking land, and we played against them, and it was 34-3. I think Jared Sensabaugh is still trying to find Sidney Rice because he couldn't turn his head around. We laid an egg, guys. So we got to get beyond the fact that we always got to point fingers at this and point fingers at that. We had chances. 07 was a great chance for us. 06 was a chance for us. 09 was a chance for us as well. So let's stop pointing fingers. Let's just go ahead and figure out how we can get things back into the right graces. 13 Pro Bowlers. Miss Scott and Pro said, look, 13. I ain't making that number up. She putting it out there for everybody to see, man. That's a lot of Pro Bowlers that we had at one point and one time. Let me see what else we have here. Yeah, he caught it. In 2014, yes, did caught it. It took him a whole entire decade to come up with that conclusion there. It did. So, Cowboy Nation, that's all the time that we have for this wonderful, and I'm talking about a beautiful night. I really appreciate those who called. I really appreciate those who jumped in and made the donation for the nation. I really appreciate each and every last one of you all for being part of the thing. And as we continue to grow this thing, don't forget we have a Cowboys Experience page. It's in the description box. Click that, join that Facebook page. Let people know that Law Nation sent you there, or Mark Holmes or Vosh Lombardi, Big Game James. Shout out to all of them as well. Let them know, man, so that we can continue to grow this thing, continue to strive forward, and continue to be just one of those, fan bases that is knowledgeable of the game, right? And is understanding of the game. And once we get all these things together, Cowboy Nation, boy, I can't make this stuff up. We'll be on it. Yes, appreciate each and every last one of you all. Yes, indeed. Don't forget, in the future, call Peace. Let's go, Cowboys. DC for life. Salute.